dirty myrtle.
Yeah.
COVID. Because they don't have any COVID themselves.
Well, at least you're in a.
And they bring it up here.
And so she comes back and we say, you just don't even come through the front door, you go around back.
Yep.
Do it to the basement. We have a little apartment down there, so that's just, we've been opening up the door like downstairs and
Yeah,
playing food.
yeah.
Hold my breath.
She probably loves it. Is she born?
In isolation. Oh, yeah. No, she's still, well, she's still testing positive. So they say even after you can't transmit the virus, you still test positive.
Right.
I think it just got to look at the rules when she first started feeling the symptoms. I think it's 5 days.
Yeah.
So it's 5 days. Make it through the weekend.
She don't better get back. She was working that job.
Well, our eldest is working.
Oh, okay, right.
Our youngest is working with Bonnie Blue.
Right. Yeah, that's why they got it.
So we went down for our eldest, she actually got asked, we walked on the wall.
He's around there.
Yeah. What's the last Saturday?
Sunday, what you call this guy, I was like, part of the Sunday.
Everybody.
Okay, no, good. Oh, hello, how are you? I saw your husband the other day. Yes, it was really nice. Thanks for being here. How are you? How are you? Great. Thanks for coming in. Thank you so much. Hi. Nice to meet you too. Okay. Supporting Chad. I know you're supporting Matt. Good. All right. You're supporting Marissa. Good. You're just a good Thank you for being here. That's good.
Sam's
Melanie, thanks for
north of the Columbus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I sat down and
Oh, very cool. Oh, nice to meet you.
North of Japan, right?
yeah.
Well, thanks for supporting this.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're here. It's hard, COVID, thanks for supporting Travis. It's good, it's hard, it's Friday, it's COVID still, kind of, or not yet, but we're cautious, so it's good. All right. Oh, we got people online, so there's Greg and Steve. Sarah and Renee, good.
We have Dr. Evans online as well, ma'am.
Okay.
So,
Shante, where are you at?
Hey, were they?
Are you at Fort Bragg?
Who's that? Yes, I am.
Sorry.
I'm home at the moment, but yep, I'm at Fort Bragg.
Oh, okay, good. We
Oh,
got.
hey, ma'am, hey there.
I know, I'm looking at you, but I have to look at the camera. Oh, good to see you, Shante. Thanks for being on. And so Mr. Adams and I and the team from the division, Scott Sawyer, and even the district, we were talking to Colonel Jeffries and Ms. Raposa. The fact that you're at Bragg in the battalion, if I got it right, that supports special operations, we got some plans for you.
now are we ready? Over there? We've got that running, okay. I think we can unmute. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of our LVP3 graduates and the playing of our national anthem. Please be seated. Major General Colleton, Sheriff Milholland, Mr. Adams, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Scott Zilli, Chief of Business Integration at the Transatlantic Division, and I will be your narrator for our ceremony. On behalf of our commander, Major General Kimberly M. Colleton, I would like to welcome you to the Leadership Development Program Tier 3 graduation ceremony. Today marks the culmination event for 9 graduates who have completed the required LDP3 coursework over an 18-month span. Their dedication, commitment, and perseverance during this time has been exemplary. Our 9 graduates for the class of 2022 are Master Sergeant Shantae Allen, Mrs. Mary Billings, Mr. Chad Crosby, Mr. Matthew Kenny, Mr. Stephen Markland, Deputy Travis Mitchell, Mr. Timothy Odell, Miss Zenobia Wilcox, and Miss Marissa Woodward. Please join me in providing a warm welcome. A special recognition goes out to the Frederick County Sheriff, Lenny Milholland, who is with us today for our ceremony. Welcome, Sheriff. Good to have you. Now, if you will please join with Mary Billings in our invocation.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we pause to invoke your blessing on today's ceremony, and we invite your presence here for your guidance, wisdom, and leadership. We give thanks for you and pray for each of the leaders graduating today: Tim, Chad, Shantae, Marissa, Steve, Travis, Matt, and Zenobia and myself. May the wisdom and skills we learn these past 18 months take deep root within our hearts, that we may be the leaders you would have us be in each moment that you bring us into. May we lead with a servant's heart, eager to fulfill the duties you have for us at work, at home, and in our communities. Thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this program, to work enthusiastically unto you, and to serve our nation. Thank you also, Father, for those faithfully organized and coordinated and taught our classes. May you bless each in attendance today and give us grace, strength, wisdom, and the desire to reach the highest level of excellence in all we do, say, and be. Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than we can think or imagine, we give you honor and praise. Amen.
Thank you, Mary. Once again, welcome to everyone who is here today and with us online. Thank you for taking the time to be with us for this significant milestone. 26 May 2022, this is a great day. It's finally arrived. Let me be one of the first to extend congratulations to each of you. And everyone's going to know your first names by the time we're done. But Shantae, Mary, Chad, Matt, Steve, Travis, Tim, Zenobia, and Marissa. One of the benefits of managing the LDP3 program is watching the leadership development journey of our graduates over 18 months. I remember distinctly when each of you began LDP3 in this very room. And so it's really satisfying today to see you here after completing a rigorous course curriculum. Over the past 18 months, I've had the opportunity to work with them, facilitate and participate in their discussions, watch them contribute at the TAD Strategic Offsite, witness governance boards, virtually visit Congress, and provide assistance as they worked on their utilization projects, the TAD onboarding plan, and the knowledge management repository. Their creativity, willingness to learn, and share their perspectives on what constitutes great leaders has inspired me. For all of those who had a hand in contributing to your development, I want to say thank you. A special recognition goes out to Dr. Michael Evans from upstate New York, who spent over 45 hours in the classroom with our graduates discussing leadership, providing opportunities, surveys, scenarios, role-playing to develop our leaders. Dr. Evans, a magnificent job and I know our graduates remain thankful for your guidance, your time, and your energy. Well done, sir. Additionally, a special thank you to Miss Kathleen Davis of the Winchester Toastmasters Club, who facilitated 4 interactive, fun, and engaging speechcraft program sessions, each 1.5 hours. The graduates gained confidence in all aspects of communication, including written and impromptu speeches, audiovisual aids, body language, active listening, critical evaluation, and each exercise forced our graduates to step outside of the box with confidence. So thank you, Ms. Davis, for an awesome job. I'd also like to recognize one additional person who genuinely cares about our LDP3 participants and puts in many hours to ensure that they are informed, prepared, and encouraged throughout the process. Miss Elaine Lawson, who has been with every TAD LDP3 class since 2016, and of course this class every step of the way. Elaine, thank you for your dedication, your commitment, and to the success of this program. And I'd like you to come up front and join the commander in front of the flags, if you would please. Yes, I know, this is a surprise. I do the orders first.
So I just want to just kind of preempt what we're gonna do, and then we'll read the attention to orders and ask you to stand. So, and John, if you can come on up too. You know, Elaine, Scott just said it, has been doing this for a while, put your heart and soul in it, and then some. She always makes additional cakes and other things that are off the clock, but are the special touch to make these things special. And your graduation is very special, and I know it means a lot to you to make it really special and always go above and beyond. But I know that you mean a lot to all of us in the classes that have gone before. The fact that we have a leadership development program, we're spending time investing, you know, in people, which is an important priority. We can't do any of our jobs without the right people and trying to invest in them. Elaine, you've been at the keystone of making our foundational program actually foundational. You are the keystone, I guess, in helping us make this, you know, codify it, that it happens, and that we do it. Even in COVID and other things, we didn't stop. We still took the time to do this, and a lot of effort goes into it. So we do want to recognize you with an award in front of the fruit of your labor, shall I say, the program itself and the people, you know, that have been a part of that program over the years. So we didn't want to miss the right audience to be able to recognize you in front of everyone. If you don't mind standing.
Yes. Please rise for an award presentation. Attention to orders. A citation for the Civilian Commendation Award for Ms. Elaine P. Lawson. Ms. Lawson served as Program Manager in the Business Integration Division from April 2015 until August 2022. She had a tremendous impact ensuring the Leadership Development Program Tier 3 operated by a lead, develop, care model. She shepherded 25 graduates through a rigorous academic curriculum and redesigned the course, adding 4 Toastmaster sessions and 48 hours of contractor-led soft skills training. Ms. Lawson's selfless service to the mission reflects great credit upon her, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and the U.S. Army.
No? We don't have it. Do we have it? Sorry. Congratulations. We don't have the award. A little bit of a left it downstairs kind of a moment. All right, sit down. Well, we're going to ask someone to give you the floor. We're going to come up and pin the castle on your collar, and then we get the award back up here. So we'll find it.
We'll get it.
Yeah, speaking of picture here. Okay, so Elaine, normally we pin the award on you, and hand it. We'll do that. We'll read you, but the floor is yours. We always give and then John, if you want to say a few words too, and then we'll give you the floor. But we want to give you an opportunity to maybe just reflect for a moment on, you know, your
Elaine, I think, just my interactions with you for about 2 years here, Ted has just been passionate about passion.
Positively passionate.
Regardless on the size of the group, I mean, you pulled it off every year, so I just want to personally thank you.
The floor is yours.
So I do not like being in the front. All of you know that. But what I want to say is that it's not about me. No award can do what each of you, and I'm talking about every class that has come through the LDP3 program, has given to me, because that is my focus. My focus is to give back, to pay it forward, to show care for people, genuine care, and hopefully that's what I've done. So I wish all of the graduates of the class of 2022 and those that have already graduated and the class that is now in the LDP program, I wish you all the best of luck. I will continue to pray for you. I hope I'm not offending anybody, but that is what I do. So, God bless each of you. Thank you.
I'll do a quick photo. And we'll... Okay, thank you. Can I put this on here? Okay. Thank you. Alrighty.
Thank you, Elaine. Now I'd like to call each of our graduates forward one at a time and share with you some key details about who they genuinely are. We're going to begin with Shantae, who is on the screen. Unfortunately, she could not be with us in person this morning, but it's great to have you, Shantae. Thank you. Shantae was a contract specialist at Middle East District, serving in their contracting division. She has 12 years of contracting experience. She served on TAM's Employee Council Federal Women's Program Committee, the Black History Month Program Committee, and as the Family Readiness Group representative. She has served 17 years in the United States Army with 4 combat deployments. Shantae's extraordinarily contracting acumen, skills, influence, leadership, and effective managerial capability led her to earning the pinnacle of recognition with the 2021 USACE Excellence in Contracting Award, where she exceptionally served as a contracting officer in support of the South Pacific Border District's Southwest Border Wall mission. She effectively administered and terminated for convenience the Department of Homeland Security's Tijuana Bridge construction contract valued at $35 million and the Tucson 1239 construction contract worth $2.1 billion. She has been selected for promotion to Sergeant Major and has earned a well-deserved slot at the Army Sergeant Major Academy at Fort Bliss, Texas. Shantae is very close to her mother and sister. She helps with raising her 6-year-old niece, Sarah. She is a travel enthusiast and loves riding motorcycles. Her favorite quote: "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Maya Angelou. She feels that this is important because with every encounter she has with an individual, it is her intent to ensure that she leaves a positive impact on them. So Shantae, I will allow you to please share with us your leadership perspective.
Thank you, Scott. Can you hear me over?
We can.
Okay. Major General Colleton, Command Sergeant Major Amani, Colonel Sechrist, Lisa Billman, Miss Wilhelmina Booker, LDP3 facilitators, Miss Elaine Lawson, and Mr. Scott Seeley, my fellow LDP3 graduates and colleagues. It is with great pleasure that I come before you as a graduate of TAG's LDP3 program. In Indeed, it has been a genuinely productive 18 months. So the concept of leadership is relative, highly subjective, and very elusive. And I don't pretend to be any more of an expert than anyone else, but I can tell you what I thought I knew about leadership until LDP3 gave me insight and a much more broader concept on what it truly means to be a leader. Leadership is exuded through my core values. In my family, hard work and taking care of each other was very important growing up. And my parents worked in hot factories in South Carolina on minimum wage, sometimes 10 to 12 hours a day. So when I became of age, I would work with my mom during the summer to earn money. And this is what made me realize why hard work is important to her, and having experienced the labor that she went through day in and day out. Our family values stuck with me through college and into the military to this day. I believe that working hard, treating people right, and taking care of each other will bring opportunities that you never saw coming. This is how I developed a people first mentality and a personality. Though there is a multitude of required leadership courses in the military as we rise in rank, my experience in this program is what advanced my perspective on not only what true leadership is, but what it means to serve others in that capacity. This program has impacted me professionally as well as personally. It gave me the opportunity to experience a regional perspective on leadership and participate in various senior level USACE activities within TAD. And with that, I was forced to assess my own leadership style, identify my strengths and my weaknesses, and adjust where needed. As a result of LDP3, I have the necessary tools to formulate and implement effective leadership strategies. I have developed my communication, particularly my listening skills, and most importantly, I am more confident as a leader. Not only did this program benefit me personally as a leader, but I am a better person who will now have an impact on my organization, my peers, my subordinates, and my family. Two of the most prevalent assignments were when we read It's Your Ship, authored by Captain Michael Ebershoff, and The Loudest Duck by Laura Listwood. The core of both of these books expounded on two things that I continuously strive to build as a leader: people and trust. The book review of It's Your Ship was facilitated by my mentor, Command Sergeant Major Romani, and he touched on my favorite chapter entitled Build Up Your People, Generate Unity, and Improve Quality of Life. Some of the core qualities that he exhibit as a leader. Aside from the mission, people should be an organization's top priority. People like to be seen, recognized, feel included, and feel valued. So placing people first fosters an environment of trust and loyalty. It builds diverse, adaptive, and cohesive teams that sustain the organization, which lead me to my next point. The book, The Loudest Duck, references moving beyond diversity while embracing differences to achieve success at work. This assignment came at the right time considering the Army's current People First initiative. This drives diversity, equity, and inclusion, which the book provided me tools for references as I reinforce this initiative as a leader. The strength of an organization comes from diversity. Developing and maintaining qualified, demographically diverse leadership is critical to mission effectiveness. It is important to foster a culture of trust and accept the experiences, culture, characteristics, and background that each individual brings to the workplace. Most individuals would shy away from leadership positions due to being in the spotlight and the responsibilities that come with the position. But being a leader is far beyond an actual position. An individual at the lowest level of the organization can be a leader, because to me, this word is an action. Your actions and the impact that you have on your team and those individuals around you. I find myself benefiting from the skills I learned in LDP3 in my personal life through communication. I now listen more. I listen and I absorb information prior to responding to what is being said. Overall, I learned that there are many ways in which organizations develop their employees into future leaders. And this process is called leadership development. Business change is becoming more rapid and more challenging to keep up with. So no matter how the business world changes, organizations require leaders who can lead people, manage change, identify new opportunities, and carry out that strategy. There are a few common elements in leadership programs, even though they may look slightly different. These include direct exposure to existing management groups for peer assistance, cooperative learning, and official mentorship. Having a well-defined structured program such as LDP3 enables growth while still maintaining our current roles in the organization. Remember, leadership is not only in the workplace, but perhaps where we least expect it. The single mother working to take care of her children, the retiree that works part-time at a Walmart greeter, a high school student running for student body president, the fast food worker that places your order, and the manager who keeps the team working together during difficult times as a leader. I take this opportunity to thank Miss Elaine Lawson and my mentors, Command Sergeant Major Romani and Miss Wilhelmina Booker, for taking the time to invest in me. You have nurtured my character, thus evolving me into the leader that I am becoming and that I always strive to be. Your guidance has holistically developed me not only as a leader, but inspired me to be a better human being overall. Though there's not much that I can give you right now, I will hope that you see the fruits of your labor and what you instilled in me through the outcome of my success. Congratulations to my fellow LDP3 graduates and all that we have accomplished. Essay Honors.
Outstanding, Shante. Thank you very much. Our next leader is Mary Billings. Mary, would you come on up front? Mary currently serves in the Middle East District as Chief Site and Building Design Branch. Her employment experience encompasses working in private industry for nearly 20 years, providing structural engineering, technical expertise, and project management to various government agencies for projects located throughout the United States and internationally. In February of 2019, Mary joined the Middle East District as a GS-12 structural engineer. One of her priorities as a leader is to encourage others to remember our purpose, which is to serve the warfighter and our host nation allies, increasing regional security and stability. Mary and her husband Pat stay active outdoors with their 2 Australian cattle dogs and are currently building a home for Mary's parents. Her favorite quote is, "We don't get burned out because of what we do. We get burned out because we forget why we do it." John Gordon. Mary?
General Colleton, assembled guests, LDP3 graduates. We made it. It's been a few months since we've been together, and as you can see, I'm still a scarf addict. One of our exercises entailed a developmental Toastmasters experience where we developed our public speaking skills, and I was able to share a humorous speech about my scarf addiction. And while LDP3 hasn't solved that problem yet, it has given me amazing opportunity to enhance leadership skills, and it has greatly impacted my career, my personal and professional relationships. As Scott mentioned, I began my LDP3 journey in 2020 as a somewhat recent new hire November, I began serving as the chief of the site and building design branch in engineering for the Middle East District. It has been an honor to increase my responsibilities, to serve our nation, and to shepherd the amazing team of professionals within the branch. Truly, and I could not have acquired the position or felt the confidence that I did entering into the position if not for the LDP3 program. It is every aspect of the course helped prepare me for not only today, but for whatever the future may entail. Miss Elaine and Scott have been incredible coordinators of the program, highly effective and organized. The mixture of events, activities, book learning, Dr. Evans's exercises, Toastmasters, was just the right amount to challenge us, but also build confidence. We all learned a few tricks along the way. For example, did you know when you're listening to a book on Audible, you can speed up the recording so that you can get through the book quicker and meet those deadlines? The effort was heavy at times, but the content was helpful, and it truly were building blocks upon our leadership skill development. And I've learned a great deal from the team, from Scott, from Miss Davis, from Miss Elaine, from Dr. Evans, from the mock interview panelists, from the book leaders. They all just were incredible contributors to the process. But I must say that it has been my fellow graduates that have had the most impact on me. I've been watching you and learning, and I truly admire how each of you have developed your skills, your camaraderie, your growth. It's just been inspirational. Shantae, from you, I have learned tenacity and kindness. From Chad, your honesty and forthrightness. From Matt, your desire to learn and put things into implementation immediately. From Steve, your friendliness and humility. From Travis, your patience and compassion. Tim, your intellect and helpfulness. Zenobia, your faith and your inquisitiveness. And Marissa, your warrior persistence and agility in all times. Thank you to each of you for what you have done through this program and how much time and effort that you have poured into this activity. And congratulations, we made it. When I first started with USACE, I told my then supervisor that I would never again be or seek a supervisory role. I was done. I had left a former employer where I had served as a supervisor, and it had not been a positive experience. I felt like a complete failure at that time. LDP3 has given me the skills that I lacked and I needed to seek out new roles and new responsibilities. And I have found that God tends to bring us back full circle to things that we say never again, right? And the Lord has definitely used the LDP3 program to grow me more like Him with skills and heart necessary to serve our mission through serving our teammates. And to live out 1 Corinthians 15:58, which says, "Be strong and immovable, always working enthusiastically for the Lord, for nothing done for the Lord is ever useless." I'm grateful for the things I've learned and the relationships that have developed. I'm excited for the future and what we will all accomplish together. I say odds.
Thank you, Mary. Chad Crosby, come on up. Chad serves as a lead mechanical engineer, Engineering Division, Middle East District. He has been with TAM for 12 years doing HVAC design. His hobbies include spending time with family and playing over 30 soccer. Chad and his wife Emily have 2 boys, Clark and Kyle. His favorite quote from your ship. Management techniques from the best damn ship in the Navy by Captain Michael Roshoff. If they see you not telling the truth, they may feel free to lie as well. You cannot gain trust without being honest. It applies to every facet of life, personal and professional. Chad.
Hello everyone, thank you for being here today. I wanted to take this opportunity to say how grateful I am to be a part of this program and to say thank you to everyone that made this LDP3 course and every course that we've had so successful. First off, to command and leadership. Thank you for allowing us to take this course and giving us the funding to do so and offering a course that would allow us to grow as leaders. And Mr. Silly, thank you for giving us not only the mentorship throughout this whole program, but the diverse curriculum that you provided to us to give us the skills that we need to be better leaders. To Ms. Lawson, thank you for your enthusiasm and your stewardship throughout this process. Your positivity made it just a complete joy to do this course and be a part of this course. And thank you for giving us the subtle nudges of encouragement when we needed it. To all the facilitators that read all the books and took your time out of your busy schedules to not only read the books, but to give us your insight for the books and see how we could apply all this information into our daily lives and how we could use it moving forward. To Dr. Evans, if I had learned a tenth of the knowledge that he gave us in that class in college, I would have been way better off than I am today. I wish I would have learned half of that information 10 years ago, and I would be a much better person and a much better leader. There was just so much information in that curriculum that helped me immensely, and I try to apply a lot of those things every day. To my mentor, Ingrid Howard, who helped me guide my career in the right path. To Miss Davis, so I had never taken a public speaking course before this class, and the Toastmasters session allowed me to not fill my speeches with uhs and ahs, and for some reason I love the phrase, you know. So I'm doing way better now. It's obviously a work in progress still, but it's certainly getting better. To all of the other LDP3 students, thank you very much for taking this program as seriously as me, if not more serious, and reading all the books, participating in all of the meetings, doing all the assignments, and I thank you for giving it your all, and it shows, and I think everybody can tell how much effort you all put into it, and I thank you very much for going through this process with me. I learned so much from the course, but I also learned just as much from each and every one of you, so thank you very much. We learned too much in the course to go over even a tenth of what we learned. I'm just going to talk about a couple things that I learned and I try to apply to my everyday life. The leadership styles and understanding that we have all different people that work with us and for us, and trying to understand the different leadership styles that I wasn't utilizing properly in the right situation. We took a lot of assessments with Dr. Evans, and one of them was the friendly styles profiles, and I learned that from that I am an achieving and directing personality, and I need to be more understanding, empathetic, and collaborative, and I'm working on that every day. Still a work in progress for that as well. We took a social awareness and self-awareness quiz, and we had our own goals for our own how we can improve ourselves, and I'm learning to be aware in social situations, how I may be perceived and how I come across. I learned what it takes to be a level 5 leader, unwavering humility, trying to find the right people, not only for your bus, but the right seat for them on the bus, and the hedgehog concept. I used to think that multitasking was great. I was like doing all these things at once, and I'm like, look at all this stuff I'm getting done, but multitasking is actually called monkey mind, because doing too many things at once can actually make you go bananas. And every 11 minutes on average we're interrupted a day, and we spend almost a third of our day recovering from those interruptions. So trying to stay on task and do one thing at a time, it can be difficult at times, and you all know, but trying to do that better. I learned that writing down your goals, you're 40% more likely to achieve those goals. So everything that I've gotten done through this course has pretty much all been written down, and we've achieved everything that we set out to do. Never be okay with the okay plateau. Always try to make yourself better, which is part of the reason why I took this course. And just trying to grow as a person and an individual. Stay humble and hungry. Stay humble that you don't know everything, and stay hungry to want to learn. Trust is like a bank account. It grows with the more deposits that you make. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about was one of the most important things that I learned from this course is not only learning these things, but learning from the individuals and learning how to apply the things that I learned every day, and trying to go out of my way and consciously make the changes that I need to make to myself as a person, and to better myself as well as the people around me. And I'm just so incredibly grateful to be a part of this program. Thank you very much for accepting me into this program, and I'm eternally grateful for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chad. Matt Kenny. Matt serves as a supervisory management analyst, Middle East District, and resource management. Prior to assuming his position at USACE, Matt served as the Deputy Chief DoD at VA Programs, Office of the Army Surgeon General, Falls Church, Virginia. As the program's Deputy Chief, Matt was responsible for maintaining day-to-day operations of the program, to include administrative coordination of the strategic planning of the program, as well as serving as a liaison with all the stakeholders. He advised senior Army leaders on all aspects of DoD VA programs and overarching policies, to include local and regionally developed healthcare resource sharing agreements. He provided coordination on Army guidance for program procedures and policies, to include synchronization of DoD and VA policy. Prior to Matt's civil service as a Department of the Army civilian, he served as a combat medic in the 3rd Battalion, 116th Infantry Regiment, 1st Brigade Combat Team, 29th Infantry Division under the Virginia National Guard. During his time as a combat medic, Matt served in Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan, and as a senior medic in Operation Iraqi Freedom. He was honorably discharged as an E5 in 2009. Matt's family includes his wife Adriana, his stepson Dakota Wallace, and Alexander Kenny and Wyatt Kenny. Matt enjoys exploring and spending time with family, and his favorite quote: "Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress and giving birth to evolution." Albert Einstein. Matt chose this quote as he believed in imagination as what leads to innovative solutions for solving today's complex issues. Matt?
First of all, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Major General Colleton, Mr. Adams, Sergeant Major Romani, and the Sheriff. And I want to thank, a special thank you to Miss Elaine, who has been a positive influence throughout this process, throughout this program, and especially for having to put up with me. I know I can be a little pushy at times, but she definitely keeps us on track. Absolutely. I also want to say thank you to my family, who has always been supportive of me, my parents, who are really my first examples of true leadership, especially for my wife, who definitely keeps me grounded. Sometimes I can be a little dictatorial, but she has a kind of way of bringing me back in sometimes and telling me, hey, not everything runs like the military. So a huge thank to that. Thank you to them and to my family. Also to my fellow LDP graduates. Absolutely, like Ms. Mary said, we did it. We're here. It's been a great program. I've enjoyed every single minute of it. I think we've all had a great experience building these relationships, these bridges that we have, these connections. I think those are some of the most important things you can do, especially as a leader. And I harken back to a quote that was actually that Master Sergeant Allen had with regards to Maya Angelou. And that truly does matter how you make people feel. That's probably one of my biggest takeaways from this program. I can tell you that I have a tendency to like to talk. I like to sometimes, I used to break one of my golden rules. I used to tell my boys all the time, you listen with your ears, not with your mouth. this program has really instilled that even more, being able to listen to folks. One of the quotes that actually hit home for me in one of the books we were reading was by Lieutenant Commander Habershaw. His book, It's Your Ship, was the day that your people can't come to you with your problems is the day that you failed as a leader. And that's truly important, that if your people can't come talk to you about whatever the problem, whether it's professional or maybe personal, especially if they come talk to you about personal issues, that's great. Because that matters. People are the mission, and the mission should be people. You want to do mission success, you got as a leader have to give your people the resources, the tools they need to succeed. I can set very high expectations for the work and the quality of the work that my employees do. But I can't expect them to reach that if I'm not willing to exceed their expectations and giving them the resources and the tools they need to accomplish that mission. That's the most important thing for me, is how my people perceive it, how I make them feel. Now that doesn't always mean that, we've had great leaders where we can't always say that everything should be warm and fuzzy. I've had some of my greatest leaders are ones that I can't honestly say that they always make me feel warm and fuzzy. They made me nervous. They put me on the spot. But that's because I knew that they were teaching me something. They were leading me, but they were putting me in positions that they themselves knew that I could handle. They just wanted to make sure that I knew that I could handle. And that is truly a great leader. Is somebody who challenges you, challenges your strengths, and challenges your weaknesses. Helps you to develop to be a better leader. And that's honestly who I strive to be as a leader, is somebody who can inspire folks to step outside their comfort zone, to think outside the box, to be innovative, to come up with multiple ways to solve a problem, not just one, to go against the status quo. That's how we succeed. That's how we build. We build those relationships. And that's, like I said, that's my goal as a leader, is I want to build those relationships. I want to inspire people. As much as this program has inspired me, as much as my colleagues have inspired me to do better. That's why during this course, I actually was promoted to a GS-13 supervisory management analyst, because of my experience with the program and the skills that I was able to relate to my duties and responsibilities as a supervisory program analyst, program management analyst, not mine. So I think that's the one thing I want to leave with my colleagues is, when you move forward through your career, through life, be somebody's inspiration. Get them to want to succeed, to do better. Don't accept just somebody coming to work just to do their 9 to 5. I think it's the worst mentality. If your employees aren't looking forward to coming to work to give you new ideas, to come up with new ideas, if they're not giving you new ideas, that says more about you than it does about the employee. And I want you to think about that. So in closing, I can't thank y'all enough for the experience and the relationships that we've built, long-lasting relationships. I hope that we can carry through our career, and I challenge you to do the same thing. Build those relationships and inspire others. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you. You're showing off your Toastmaster skills. Steve, come on up, please. Steve is a design manager in the Middle East District. He recently completed a 1.5-year assignment with the Business Integration Division at TAD as a program manager. His other work experience includes serving as a plant engineer and control systems engineer at Shell Oil Company in Houston, a project manager and engineering supervisor at International Paper, an engineering manager and production manager at Rexam Release, and a program manager for Torre Plastics, engineering and maintenance manager for Polyhyde Soladur, and a financial manager for Edward Jones. Steve has been with the Middle East District as a design manager for 5 years. His hobbies include bicycling, vegetable gardening, and travel. He also enjoys playing the guitar, listening to classic rock, and home projects. Steve and his wife, Reen, who is here today, great to see you, of 32 years, have 3 grown and married sons, Evan, Scott, and Sean, and 3 granddaughters. Favorite quote: Good one. It's a good one. This is awesome. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbled or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who was actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotion, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Teddy Roosevelt. Steve?
Thank you. Thank you, Scott.
I like long quotes. Pretty colorful quotes too. Well, good morning, everybody. General Colleton, Mr. Adams, everybody, thank you for supporting us this morning, for being here. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you for my wife attending this morning. Thank you for being with me. In describing my LDP3 journey, I want to start off paraphrasing the legendary Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead. What a long, strange trip it's been. Please don't get me wrong. I learned valuable leadership skills and totally enjoyed the LDP3 experience. From Dr. Evans's lectures and our exercises to our book reviews, Toastmasters was great, and the congressional seminar where I learned that, politicians really aren't that smart. But doing it through COVID was really a challenge. And I must commend Elaine Lawson and our team. Elaine, for your enthusiasm, for your leadership throughout these 18 months, as well as all my teammates, too, just for sticking with it, and really, like Chad was mentioning, really putting your effort into everything that we did. So on the first day of our program, we all had to describe why we wanted to be in the LDP3 program. As I'm nearing the end of my working career, and I know it's hard to believe, for me to believe, I struggled with the question because did taking this leadership program really make sense for me now? Was I taking somebody's place that really should have been here who was younger? Finally, I reasoned that, well, I'm a lifelong learner. I'm never going to stop learning. And if I can get one more nugget of leadership knowledge, it would be worth it. If I can pay it forward. This experience provided that one nugget and more. My most significant takeaway from the LDP experience is seeing myself as a leader. And not just in the supervisory position, but every day, whatever position I'm in or whatever role I'm in. So 3 key points led me to this takeaway. The first is leadership is about knowing yourself and your values. So as Dr. Evans taught us about our mental models, we must understand that we see life through the filter of our mental models. We make our decisions, we pass judgment based on what comes through this mental model filter. This is our bias. When we interact with others, we must recognize the person sitting across the table from us or on a teleconference is going through the same process. If our interests are the same, great, communication is really easy. But most likely, we don't have the same interests. We don't have the same mental model, and our interests are far apart. But by questioning and listening to them, we can establish a trust relationship and discover their underlying interests. And knowing this, we can move forward to reach a win-win solution in whatever we're dealing with. But to really strengthen our relationships, we must be open to share our interests with them. Sometimes this is difficult to put yourself out there. The second point is knowing your why. What is your organization's vision and mission? Right after we read the book Start With Why by Simon Sinek, I searched for the USACE TAM, mission, and vision, and I put it on my bulletin board right by my desk. This was my why. The mission and vision give me direction in my decision making. If my daily decisions do not provide our mission partners in the CENTCOM AOR with a quality engineering solution or construction solution, I'm not making the right decision. The why can also be used in making hiring decisions, I learned. Choosing people who want to buy in to your mission and vision makes them more likely to want to stay with your organization and work hard for your organization. The third point is having the courage to trust your experience and abilities and to share it with the team. I'm so glad I finally got to read Profiles in Courage by John Kennedy. The political environment today is very adversarial and divisive, but it's been the same throughout our country's history, through every era. The courage of Senators Daniel Webster, Senator Sam Houston, to go against their party line and work to hold the union together was truly inspiring. They risked their political careers to state their convictions. So I resolved that going forward, in every meeting, every document I reviewed, every action that I took, I'd bring my knowledge and experience to the table. No one benefits from the questions you don't ask or the information you don't share. In conclusion, I'm leading every day to fulfill the USACE TAM mission and act as a mentor to our younger employees. Leadership is not from a position or a title. You're a leader right now, right where you are, whether you're leading a PDT or an organization of several thousand people, a volunteer group, or your family. Be mindful of the value that you can bring in each situation to help your team succeed. And again, thanks and congratulations to my teammate. Thanks, Scott, for allowing me to participate in this program. And thank you for all being here.
Deputy Mitchell, come on up. Travis has worked with the Frederick County Sheriff's Office in a variety of capacities for 20 years and currently serves as a sergeant within the School Safety Division. He enjoys spending time camping, kayaking, and exploring the outdoors with family and friends. Travis has been married to his wife Rachel for nearly 24 years and is blessed with a 17-year-old son Cody and a 13-year-old daughter Kylie. His favorite quote: "Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the fastest lion or it will be killed. Every morning a lion wakes up, and it knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be running." This is my favorite quote because you should know your purpose and goals. We need to strive, push harder, think deeper, and be mindful that no matter where we are in life or what we are facing, create your place and get to work. Travis, I just want to say, it was so awesome having you in the class. Travis was our first non-USACE person in the LDP3, and I can't tell you what a perspective it was to have Travis in the class, and I know that your classmates appreciated you, so thank you.
There's a story that tells of Abraham Lincoln walking back to the White House from the church he attended. A member of his security detail asked, "Did you like the sermon you just heard?" Lincoln replied, "It was a good sermon." The guard said, "So you liked it?" Lincoln replied, "No, I didn't like it." The guard says, "Why?" Lincoln replied, "Because he didn't ask us to do anything great." 18 months ago, we began this journey towards greatness. From the beginning, we were challenged to be great. Challenged to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's where we grow. LDP challenged us to connect with our values and with the values of others. It challenged us to dig deeper into an understanding of ourselves and those that we serve. Throughout this journey, good was never put on the table of options. Thank you for challenging us to be great. LDP has provided the tools and resources necessary to improve communications, connect with others, hear what others are saying, deal with difficult people. We'll run across that occasionally. From learning to be assertive, to public speaking, to dealing with discipline, to time management. LDP took us through all aspects of leadership and beyond. This experience has impacted nearly every aspect of my life. I've found the learned skills valuable in my involvement, my primary involvement at the Sheriff's Department, serving on boards, volunteer organizations, and my personal life. I'm a better listener, a better supervisor, a better speaker, a better subordinate, a better father, husband, and friend. I am a better leader. This wasn't just about me. It was about what we can do for our organizations, what we can do for our community. LDP led us to having our own mentors, but inspired us to be mentors to others. It not only led us to the path of leadership, but to a path of developing leaders. This started as another class, but ended up profoundly impacting my life. One of my developmental goals when I began LDP was public speaking. A specific part of this was my ability to speak and get through topics that were emotional. I'm not there yet. So we'll say this. Sheriff Milholland, I can't begin to thank you enough for this opportunity and your support along the way and for allowing me to do this. First Lieutenant Cornwell, who I must recognize is not here because he's doing something a great leader does and filled in for me so I can come here. I appreciate his mentorship, his support, and continuous listening and feedback along this journey. It's been invaluable. USACE. I had to throw an acronym in there. Scott, Dr. Evans, and our go-to for everything, Miss Elaine Wilson. I truly don't have the words to express my thanks for all that you have done for us. Each of you, along with the LDP team, have embraced this outsider from the start, never once making me feel like an outsider. Your insight, your feedback, your lessons, support, and constant push for greatness is what got each of us here today. I thank you.
Tim Odell. Tim has served as a logistics management specialist, Deputy G4 in TAD since October of 2018. His other work experiences include serving 6 years with the USACE logistics activity as a lead logistics management specialist and NTV fleet program manager. Tim's experience as a logistics professional included details to the 18th Airborne Corps, the Mission Support Element, the Defense Logistics Agency, and Defense Supply Center in Richmond, the Surface Deployment and Distribution Command, and the 832nd Transportation Battalion. His hobbies include gardening, hiking, and fishing. Other interests include reading, history, exercise, and spending time with his 2 beagles, Daffy and Della. Tim and his wife, Michelle, have been married for 21 years. Famous quote, "It is not because things are difficult that we dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Lucius Ananias Seneca. Tim, thanks.
Thank you, Scott. General Carlton, Mr. Adams, Special Major Romani, Sheriff Milhorn, assembled guests, good afternoon. I want to thank you for providing the opportunity for me to discuss my perspectives on the LDP3 program. Before I begin, I want to take a moment to recognize the efforts of the outstanding team that makes this program possible. Without the commitment and energies of Scott and Elaine, the program would not be possible. I've seen how much effort they put into developing the program, and I appreciate all of your efforts, and I thank you. I also want to thank the many others who support the program, from the command team to the division chiefs, to the mentors, to those in IM and logistics that help with technical and facilities issues, and everyone else who supports the program. Finally, I'd be remiss if I didn't offer my gratitude to my boss, Todd Hasbrook. Todd has supported me throughout the program and given me the time necessary away from my duties to complete the program. Todd, I thank you for your support then and for your continued support. It means a great deal. I consider myself fortunate to have had the opportunity to participate in this program. In my professional experience, it's rare that one finds a program like this that allows a student to develop their leadership capabilities in a multifaceted environment. An environment that centers more than on just textbook learning, an experiential learning experience that really lets one dig into leadership and find their own leadership strengths and weaknesses. Through this approach, I've found a lot about my leadership weaknesses and my strengths. It would be difficult for me to comprehensively discuss all the benefits and impacts of the LDP3 program that the LDP program had on me in the short time that I have today. However, there are a few areas that I'd like to highlight as I feel they've made the biggest impact on me. Among these is the impacts on the lessons of communication that Dr. Evans provided and that the reading assignments provided. I think sometimes in communication, we think first of speaking or writing. We think about practices that center on the individual taking or perhaps directing an action. While these are important skills, no doubt, for a leader, it's equally important to have the ability to listen to those you're communicating with, to understand what team members and stakeholders are trying to communicate. I would even say that without these abilities, a leader is destined to fail and not reach their potential. As Todd, my wife, will tell you, I'm often not short of things to say. Since I've begun the program, I've really tried to make an effort to more actively listen when I'm communicating with others so that I can understand what they're trying to say and hear them out without formulating a response in the actual moment. I believe these efforts have paid dividends for me, both professionally and personally, although I will say I'm a work in progress. Rome wasn't built in a day. So I continue to strive to more actively listen to the folks that I communicate with and to be a better leader through communication. Another thing that really resonated with me was the importance of being flexible and embracing and encouraging change. Part of embracing and encouraging change is being open to different ideas and approaches. Approaches to solving a problem that maybe I wouldn't have thought about, that forced me out of my comfort zone and forced me to embrace ideas that may be very different from my own. Any organization or any leader that doesn't change isn't going to be around for very long. I want to briefly focus on this idea of being flexible and open to different approaches to problem solving. From my perspective, this is a critical component of being a leader. But where do these approaches come from, and how can we best position ourselves to take advantage of them? Throughout this program, we discussed the need for diversity within organizations. Diversity plays a key role in the success of both an organization, the team, and its leaders. Having a diverse team is the secret, or maybe not so secret, power of any great organization. A team with diversity of backgrounds, thoughts, functions, experience, and skills is more able to provide new perspectives on issues confronting the organization. It's through those very viewpoints that the best and most innovative solutions are often found. As leaders, we would do well to ensure that there is diversity in the makeup of our teams, as well as across our organization. Finally, I discovered the importance of having humility as a leader. As leaders, we need to be able to accept our limitations, to make and admit to mistakes while hopefully learning from them. And to understand that while we play an important role in the success of an organization, we don't do it alone. If we don't empower others to succeed, we certainly won't reach our potential. With all the great things that I took away from the program, it'd be irresponsible of me if I failed to pass these things along to folks in the future. Going forward, I will certainly look for opportunities to serve as a resource for employees interested in finding out about the program and to share the leadership lessons that I learned throughout the course. I thank you for your time today, and again, a big thank you for the team that puts this program together. I look forward to the future and seeing many more LDP program graduates in positions of leadership in USACE and beyond. Thank you.
Well done, Tim. Ms. Wilcox, come on up. Zenobia serves as a program manager in the TAD Programs Integration Division, HID. Her primary focus is managing the Acquisitions Management Program and acquisition strategy for the development of facility standard criteria. She has 30 years of experience with USACE in architectural design, program management, and policy development. Her hobbies include reading legal thrillers by John Grisham and anything related to residential design, handicap accessibility, and universal design. Zenobia and her husband have 2 wonderful children, both currently in college. The best piece of advice she has received during her career was to become an expert at something and remain situationally aware of the mission. Her favorite quote, "Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success." Henry Ford. Zenobia?
Good afternoon. So first of all, I'd like to recognize General Coleman, TAD leadership, all of the guests that are assembled here today. I want to thank you for coming to celebrate this journey, and it has really been a journey. So today marks the end of an 18-month journey. It is hard to believe it's been 18 months. It has gone by pretty fast. I'd like to also recognize the TAD LDP Steering Committee. And when I say the Steering Committee, I'm speaking of Scott, and I'm speaking of Miss Elaine, and I'm speaking of anybody else that participated in the program to help us learn and to grow. So they have created an environment that challenged us, and it really challenged us, because as I stand here before you this morning, this part right here was my hardest part. And it is not my hardest part today. So I say thank you for that. They challenged us to see that leadership can look different for each person. They challenged our assumptions. They pushed us to grow and move beyond our preconceived notions of what leadership is. Thank yous. So, to the TAD leadership, thank you for supporting the LDP program. Thank you for structuring a robust and challenging program. To Evans and Associates, thank you, Dr. Evans, for facilitating our group sessions. And to my LDP class members, thank you for sharing your stories with me. I have enjoyed getting to know each and every one of you. Shout out to Miss Shantae. I miss you not being here in the room. Okay, so let's talk about big picture, big picture. If I was going to pick 2 words to summarize the journey, I would pick impactful and value. My favorite USACE motto is to be the premier public engineering organization providing value to the Army and the nation. I love that motto because through LDP, I've gained new leadership skills. I've gained a new perspective on servant leadership. I look forward to being more impactful in my job today and tomorrow. And I look forward to adding more value to the USACE mission. mission. I will be eternally grateful that USACE hired me, gave me an opportunity to be an architect, to be a program manager, to go around the world and see different things, meet different people. I still remember the day that I was an intern architect in Egypt, actually walking along the Nile thinking, what have I done to deserve this? Oh my, what have I done to deserve this? Okay, so in conclusion, I would like to touch on the Army's leadership model. The biggest thing that I learned in LDP was that as a leader, you have to be able to communicate a vision for your team and for the people that you're working with. So let me practice on you just a little bit, okay? So let me practice. So think about the Army's leader development model. So put it up on the screen for me. You have 3 circles. 2 circles are right side by side. The other circle is at the bottom. The one circle is the operational domain. The other circle is the institutional domain. And the bottom circle is the self-development domain. Can you see it? Can you see it? Okay, so think about those circles. Where they intersect is the synergy. Where those circles overlap is where we have been learning and growing in this 18 months. I depart LDP with renewed confidence. I depart LDP with new knowledge. And I depart LDP with new passion. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for the part that you played in it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Zenobia. Marissa Woodward. Number 9.
Number 9.
Marissa is also a program manager in the Programs Integration Division. Prior to this position, she worked for the Middle East District for 12 years, 9 years in contracting before taking on a role as a project manager. Throughout her tenure with USACE, she has traveled to many countries and managed a diverse portfolio of projects. She has had opportunities to meet some incredible people along the journey that she remains in touch with today. In the last year, Marissa managed to get married to her best friend, welcome a baby girl into the world in December, and design and construct a house. She is into any and all things outdoors. She used to have other hobbies, but in the last 3 months, motherhood has quickly moved to the top of her list. Her favorite quote, mission first, people always. In her experience, people that are taken care of in an organization support the mission better. She feels the most impactful leaders are the ones who can incorporate high social personable engagement into their leadership style. In her opinion, people need to feel like they are cared for in the organization and thought of as a valuable asset in order to get the most out of them. If people are cared for appropriately, the mission will not fail because people will not let it fail. Marissa, great to have you.
Good afternoon, Major General Colleton, Mr. Adams, Command Sergeant Major, and assembled guests. Thank you to all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to celebrate the LDP-3 graduating class of 2022. As I prepared for this day, I did a lot of reflecting on my journey I've taken in the last 18 months. Looking back on who I was 18 months ago, compared to the person I am today and the growth that I've experienced, is pretty wild to say the least. I have grown exponentially as not only a leader, but as a person. On a professional level, I feel more confident serving in my current role as a military construction program manager at the division. One of my main professional goals I had going into this program was to get more comfortable public speaking. At a minimum, I wanted to be able to stand in front of all you guys without having a minor internal panic attack. Well, here I am standing today in front of you all. Palms aren't too sweaty. I've got a smile on my face, so I would say mission accomplished. Thanks to Toastmasters and all the developmental exercises we experienced and went through during this LDP-free experience. In my personal life, I have taken intentional steps in becoming a better and more active and reflective listener. I felt like I was a decent listener prior to diving into this LDP program. In fact, I even marked it down during our first day as one of my strengths. However, I quickly identified ways to be better after the time spent with Dr. Evans. I'm sure my husband really appreciates the fact that I don't always feel the need to provide unsolicited solutions to his problems now. I credit Dr. Evans for providing me the tools to become a better and more reflective listener. My leadership skills have improved significantly as well. Prior to embarking on my LDP-free journey, I typically utilized my transformational leadership style. I felt that motivated the teams to work towards a common goal, and I felt like I was kind of successful in that thus far. Although I still tend to steer in that direction, I have learned as a direct result of my time in LDP-3 that the most successful leaders are able to situationally flex our leadership styles based upon the individuals and the circumstances. I have now started to incorporate other leadership styles, such as democratic, in my day-to-day, and found success in doing so. I'm very thankful that I was given the opportunity to go through this leadership development program. It, without a doubt, has made me a better leader, employee, and person. I have always valued mentorship and have some incredible mentors so far on my journey. I've always valued mentorship, and I like to pay it forward. I plan to encourage the next generation to seek leadership opportunities and pass on the wisdom I have learned in this program to the people I mentor. If anyone is on the fence about embarking on their LDP-free journey, or any LDP classes to be honest, I'll be quick to push them to do so. I feel the investment is well worth the payout. There were often very challenging moments throughout the process, but it was well worth it in the end. The tools provided during this LDP process makes it so that you have no choice but to grow as a person and a leader, which ultimately betters you and the organization in the long run. In closing, I want to thank my boss, Scott Sawyer, for endorsing my want to grow and participate in this program. My mentor, who agreed to mentor me, Mr. Adams, thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom and continuing to do so. Additionally, I want to thank Scott and Miss Elaine for running the program, and to all the facilitators who inserted their wisdom during book discussions and other events during the life of the program. Your all's willingness to share your experiences and provide feedback to us has helped in my growth journey, and for that, I thank you. LDP-free group, I would be remiss if I didn't thank you guys as well. I have learned so much from all of you all, and I'm gonna miss these interactions, but we did it. Congratulations to all.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the Transatlantic Division, Major General Kimberly Colleton.
Thanks, Scott. So my remarks are short. Really, I was here to listen to you guys, nothing else. It was really the climactic event of this graduation was for us to just sit here and absorb what you guys learned over the last 18 months, and all of you really eloquently, gracefully, genuinely shared with us the reflections that you had as you went through the program and at the end of the program. And it's a lifelong learning process. You're not done. And so thank you for sharing with us. really moving, your personal growth stories, moments, as you went along the way, and I wish you the best of luck as you continue to add value and touch other people, and contribute to your families, to your friends, to your coworkers, to the nation, and to the missions that you serve. And so I had just a couple of things that I did want to mention. I do want to I want to also thank all the individuals that helped make this happen. Dr. Mike, thank you for coming in and enhancing our program with the curriculum that you developed and the time that you spend with our LDP3 candidates. And Elaine, we've already thanked you, but we can't thank you enough for the personal passion with which you supported this leadership development program. It is definitely part of your legacy. So thank you for that. The book leaders and the book facilitators and the supervisors and co-workers that, as you mentioned, you may be out for a couple hours or half a day or a day, and there are people covering for you on projects or programs or moments. There are family members that were supporting you. There were supervisors that encouraged you to do this. There are co-workers that kept you going or gave you ideas or spoke with you about things to think about, and the book leaders that took the time to sit with you and talk about the readings. All of you, particularly, thank you for going all in. Thank you for giving it your all and really investing, not in just yourselves, but really the return on investment of this program is tremendous. What you are giving back as you're going through it and sharing, and what you're going to give back, we are going to be the benefactors of all of that. And so thank you for putting your all in it. Shantae, who was, I must say, a just-in-time ad. So thanks for being willing to take a little bit of a gut and a little bit of a nudge that, hey, wouldn't this team be rounded out if we could add, Master Sergeant promotable Allen to the team? And I think that paid off in dividends from your words and from just watching the team grow. Thank you for being willing to accept that challenge. I thank your team for allowing us to write you in, and you went all in with everybody else. It was just in time, but it was one of the best decisions I think we made. And I'm so glad I got to be here for the whole 18 months and see all of you go through this. But Shantae, Mary, Chad, Matt, Stephen, Travis, Marissa, Zenobia, and really all of you have brought so much, and I've seen bits and pieces of it along the way. Each and every one of you were all in, and again, we're going to benefit from that. We have Renee and Sarah and Andrew on the line, the next class going behind you. I'm glad that you all could be here to listen to the reflections of this class, because your prepared notes and your genuine reflections are hit really hard and really just reinforce the importance of these kind of programs. So I have one small bit of I guess, guidance or leadership, guidance or I don't know, my own sort of philosophy to give to you all. So people first, that is the Army's philosophy, and it was said here on multiple occasions, different ways. Without people, there is no mission, there is no reason to be. It is all about what we do as a team of teams, if you will, to make things happen, and we always have to put people first. A few of you said at the Corps of Engineers mission, which this year now, you probably learned a lot of acronyms in your time, and we try to not over-acronymize you, but you can adopt this. The Corps of Engineers mission, Essayons, is let us try, and that's, I think, something about those who are willing to give it a try. It's okay to fail. We learn by failing, but we need to be willing to try and not afraid. And leaders, and this is the piece of advice, leaders need to be the ones to go first. Do not hold back. Be willing to change behaviors and change culture. For transformations needed to tackle today's disruptive environment, someone has to go first. And so go out there, continue to do what you've been doing, to go first, because people will follow, and we'll get things accomplished. We'll be able to feel that we have reached our best self. We'll feel satisfied. We'll be able to make things happen. We'll be able to win if we're willing to go first. And so that is my advice. Without that, I think John's going to follow.
Absolutely. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Wow, what a great day. But I would have started out with, when I came in here, I was a little worried because there's two of Frederick County's finest. I'm sure the sheriff had to go off and take care of business, but he has fully empowered you, Travis, to keep us straight. So it's awesome. So he's already confident that you've got it nailed. But I don't know if you all knew, but you know, public speaking, this was like your final test. I must say, you all passed with flying colors. So thank you. I didn't come with a prepared speech. I just scribbled some notes from some takeaways as you all were talking. And first off, Shantae, Mary, Chad, Matt, Steve, Travis, Tim, Zenobia, and Marissa, thank you for taking this 18-month journey. I'm looking through, I've never seen such a diverse cadre of LD peers in my 37 years in federal service. And we all know with diverse teams comes diverse thought. And I appreciate you all. The time that I spent in the various sessions, I wasn't able to meet them all because we're always CG and we're always on the road. But I learned a lot. I learned a significant amount just listening to you all's insights, asking questions, providing reflections. But I think, I think what's most important, I mean, y'all learned some cool leadership skills, soft, hard skills. Went to the Capitol Hill workshop, which I did once when I was at NAVAC way back when, and when Congress got along a little bit better. But, so you get to experience that. And I just like there's some value in all the training that you got. But I think the takeaway I got from the team here today is self-awareness, learning more about yourself, providing, getting insight from others, because to me, that's like the key quality of a good leader is just being self-aware, knowing how they're perceived by others. So I think I think y'all nailed it right there. Other great skills, other things I heard that were pretty cool were listen first, communicate clearly, and build trust. As I mentioned earlier in the meeting earlier today, I mean, it's like General Brand used to tell me, you build trust in drops, but you lose in buckets. So just to keep that thought in. So building trust is super important to me. And before I came on board, actually, I was on board, but I was still at Wiesbaden, Germany. I wanted to have a one-on-one with each of my employees, both in our rate and senior rate. So I senior rate a whole bunch of people. But I wanted, y'all would call me, what's he going to talk about? What's he going to talk about during this session? And I didn't want to talk about work at all. I just wanted to get to know y'all a little bit better. So Marissa likes behind, Zenobia's like architect, likes to repair houses. So it was neat. It was a great experience. And Steve, we had a common, bike rides, kind of like our common thing. But I think that was like really the start of a good, leader-employee relationship. And, as the CG mentioned, people should always be our number one priority. And, be empathetic, understand priorities, listen first, communicate clearly the way, and continue to build trust with your people. And I guess some of my closing comments, I want to thank Scott, Elaine for your leadership in the program, division staff, everyone else that contributed to the quality of the course, and to the leadership development cadre, graduates 2022. Pay it forward. Figure out ways to continue to use what you learn to further not only yourselves, but your organization, and ultimately the federal taxpayers that you serve, delivering our program. It's pretty awesome locations. With that said, congratulations. And thank you very much for everyone coming to this great ceremony. Thank you, sir.
Great words. Thank you, sir. CSM Vermont?
Yeah, thank you. Well, since prepared with, never shy away from talking to this class. Thank you to Sarah, thank you, Lane, for setting up this class. Shanti, I learned more from you that you learned from me, so thank you. I'm honored to be considered your mentor. So, in the Army, leadership is defined by inspiring others to do things that otherwise they wouldn't be able to do, right? And you guys definitely gonna be sought out to do that, right? And the beauty of being a leadership, leading an army is that you can find somebody's potential without they even knowing that they have potential, right? And then you send them to do things and they flourish, and you're like, man, 3 years from now, they call you and say, Sergeant Major, you have done this, and you feel sort of water, right? And that's the beauty about being a leader. But there's a dark side of being a leader, right? And that is the weight that's on your shoulder, right? Your back is stronger, your legs are stronger, you can carry more weight, right? And I'll tell you, I'm late today because you probably know, Adler wasn't on lockdown, and so in my mind, right, something's gonna happen to my kids. So I went and got my son because I could be a decoy, it could be happening somewhere else. And I was determined to go to the school of Adler and get my daughter out of school. And these young officers yelling at me, hey, you need to move out, you can't stop here. And I tell you, this wise other officer realized that something's about to happen. And he walked out to my car and said, hey, what's going on? And I just asked him, can you tell me right now that my daughter's gonna be safe? And he just shook his head. And at that moment, I knew that we both got in the same way, you know what I mean? People is gonna know that when they see you. People's gonna see you in Costco and be like, that guy's a leader. And you're gonna be able to diffuse that. You're gonna pay back, Steve, even outside the USACE. How blessed we are, right, to have Shanti Allen about to go lead a battalion of 800 plus soldiers with those skills that we just gave, right? How blessed we are to have Travis that's gonna chase the sails and lions, right? And before the sun goes up, he's gonna make the community better and safer, right? And how blessed we are to have you guys that are willing to go through all this. I mean, all you guys talked about how hard this was in 18 months of doing this. That you're willing to do that, and your daytime job, and be a mom, and be a father, and all those other things you have to do to make yourself better. So I really thank you. And remember, from this point on, you are the man and you are the woman in the arena, and people's looking at you. So thank you.
At this time, we'd like to call forward the commander, the Transatlantic Division, and we are going to present you with the hardware that you have definitely earned. Each of you will be receiving a commander's coin, a letter, and a special award recognizing their achievement. The Special Eagle Award inscription reads, "A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. One does not set out to be a leader, but becomes one by the quality of their actions and the integrity of their intent. In the end, leaders are like eagles. They don't flock. You find them one at a time." So, Master Sergeant Shantae Allen, I would like to recognize, I didn't say it at the outset, but Shantae is our first military graduate in the LVP3 class. So, Shantae, that marks another milestone for the program. So, it was amazing to have you and to have that perspective in our program. So, I know you're not here with us, but we are going to bring up some of the things and allow you to see that, hopefully on camera.
All right, we'll put you in the middle, Sergeant Major. We'll show.
We Shanti today.
Thank you.
Right, Shantae, we'll figure out who's the next person going to visit you that'll be bringing this to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And Shantae, we wish you the best in your new assignment, and you're already missed.
Thank you, Steve Scott.
Okay. Our next graduate, Mrs. Mary Billings.
So maybe I'll start with this from myself, Mr. Adams, and Sergeant Major Romani. You've definitely earned this coin for excellence for everything that you learned and that you're going to apply. You've already been doing it with your interns and all that. It's been great to see you grow. So thank you. All right.
job, Mary. Mr. Chad Crosby.
Calling in, but one, again, for excellence from all of us and all of the transatlantic division. Thanks for being on the team. Thank you.
Well done, Chad. Mr. Matthew Kenny.
Thanks for coming. Thank you all. Really appreciate your insights and inputs and wisdom. Again, thanks for being on our team. We're lucky to have you.
Great job, Matt. Mr. Stephen Markland.
Yeah, that's right. Steve understands sometimes my funny engineer language. We went to the same school. He's my only friend. Everybody else, there's a lot of me in my grounds. I have one Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute guy that I can talk to sometimes.
Great job, Steve. Mr. Deputy Travis Mitchell.
From all of us at Transatlantic Division 1, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank
Thanks, Travis. Mr. Timothy Odell.
Thank you. Earn this time and time over.
Mrs. Zenobia Wilcox.
Thank you for representing us well.
Awesome job, sir. And Mrs. Marissa Woodward.
A lot loaded on you. Amazing.
Ma'am, do you have any closing remarks for?
Nope, I think we said our remarks.
Great. So thank you for joining us today to celebrate this occasion, everyone. There is a reception downstairs in the Oasis with lunch provided. Please make your way to this gathering and be sure to congratulate our LDD3 graduates. Essayons, Army Strong.
We're at graduate group photo right quick before everyone runs out.
Do you want information?
I still never.
Small world, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Get everyone between the two screens. We may have to make like 2 rows. Let's have a row come forward. Yeah, just need everybody. Flash to the left and right.
Do you want a couple of chairs in front? Or no?
No, I just want to stick with one.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. There we go. Look at that. That's happening. Sort of make it get over here. Or actually, Scott, if you want to get over there with Lane, we'll put Sergeant Major back over here. That way we don't have to Sergeant Major. There we go.
A great program, Pat.
Great, thanks, Pat.